What's going on, ladies? Welcome back to the channel. And my name's Jno, the coach. And have you ever thought about matching nutrition with your cycle? If not, get your pens out, get your papers out. You've got notes to take. And so everyone that's new to the channel, and like I said, my name's Jno, the coach. I'm here to help you understand their physiology and to work with it and not against it to improve results, whether it's for sports, lifestyle, or gym. So, cycles, nutrition. Let's get into it. First one, when Mr. Flow comes on the first 7 days, and what happens, a lot of ladies can lose blood. Some ladies lose more blood than others. Again, at this part of your phase, you're feeling a bit fatigued. You can get brain fog. So with this, with the loss of iron, a lot of ladies lose a lot of iron. If you're using a lot of iron with heavy bleeding, then you talk to a doctor. You may need an iron supplement to deal with that. But if not, also even if you are needing a supplement, also what you can do is have iron-rich foods. So we know some foods that are rich in iron, like shellfish, dark chocolate. You've got spinach, you've got pumpkin seeds, you've got tofu. There's plenty of foods out there that are rich in iron. Also, you have the non-heme one, it's a plant-based iron, non-heme. That means that it's harder to break down in the body. But so having iron-rich foods with vitamin C foods, vitamin C helps the body absorb iron a lot better, a lot easier. So matching these together will help increase your iron intake. Also, on top of that, cooking with an iron skillet, which is an iron pan, that will help put iron into food, so give more iron to food as well. So cooking with iron skillet is a good way to increase your iron absorption. Also, as part of the phase, if you're feeling fatigued, look at something with vitamin B. So vitamin B is a good one to help with the fatigue state also as well. Again, inflammation at this part of the phase, this happens a lot. So again, looking at foods that are high in omega-3 and stuff like salmon, which would help with inflammation as part of your phase again. So these are some things that you can have at this part of your phase, which will help with the menstruation. If you're a caffeine lover, you may need to limit how much caffeine you have, or some people maybe just stop it completely for the first week, because caffeine has been seen to disrupt the iron absorption. So that's one thing to look out for at this part of the phase. Going into your mid-follicular phase now, after Mr. Flow decides to sail away. And this part of the phase where carbs are great to have. The body doesn't store carbs as much as part of the phase, so you can use your carbs to your heart's content to a certain degree. So you can have your carb intake, work on that, have your normal protein, normal fats. Again, the body doesn't use fats as greatly as in this part of your phase. You don't need to have as much lots of fats, but there's no harm in again having fats. Healthy fats are really good for you. So again, as part of your cycle, again for training, again use the carbs for energy. So carb intake as part of your cycle is really good, and nutrition can be very flexible. Also, we'll talk about a bit more later, but if you're looking to diet, your follicular phase, your whole follicular phase will probably be the best time for you to maybe incorporate a bit of a calorie deficit if you're looking to do a diet as well. Okay, now we go into ovulation, the luteal phase, and how this all goes together. Your cycle will change some more as well. So now, on this part of the cycle, the luteal phase, where we have high hormones, again, estrogen is a bit higher, progesterone is a bit higher. On this part of the phase, carbs aren't utilized very well in the body. So it stores more carbs, and the reason why it stores more carbs because it's planning for pregnancy. So if over there, the body's planning to have a baby. So it's planning for pregnancy, for famine, for an emergency. So this is why the body stores carbs as part of the phase for an emergency again. Also, estrogen's up, so estrogen it blocks the access to the carb burning, so there's no access to the carb burning to the glycogen system. So you store carbs a bit more as part of the cycle. So then you wouldn't have as much carbs as part of the cycle. Still have your carbs and more complex carbs as part of the cycle. Just you don't need to go crazy with all have as much carbs as I want, because again, this is how your physiology is. It doesn't do well with carbs as part of the cycle. Healthier fat, this way you may increase your fat intake as part of the cycle as well. So also talked about dieting. Dieting in the first phase, where this phase you wouldn't want to diet because there's been studies out there where the body, for women, you'll burn up to about 300 more calories in the luteal phase of your cycle. So countering for burning 300 more calories naturally, your metabolism has risen, Therefore, you would increase your calorie intake and still be at maintenance. So therefore, if you're burning 2,000 calories in your first phase, this phase you'll be burning up to 2,300. So you can increase your calories and still be at maintenance. That's why if you were to do a bit of a diet, you would do it in the first phase and not for the whole cycle. So also, you break down protein a lot more. Progesterone's up. There's it's a more catabolic hormone just for protein, so it will break down muscle more. And also, then if you're going to the gym, you're breaking down muscle more by going to the gym and working out. So therefore, your protein intake will need to be higher as part of your phase. So looking at all those things, okay, you need to increase your protein. Don't use as much carbs. Again, just you can manipulate your carb intake on this one, and also your fats can slightly increase as well. As we get into PMS stages, so on this one, what you would do before your cycle comes, you would increase magnesium foods, magnesium-rich foods, and stuff such as spinach, which is higher magnesium. These will also help with cramps, and also you would get again fiber, which will help with your bloating. So you have bloating, fiber-rich foods will help with that. So like stuff like berries, and then while you're having that, what you would want to do is also with your high fiber is to drink water, because if you're not going to have any water with the fiber, it can cause constipation issues can happen with this. So make sure you have your water while you're having your fiber as well. So I hope that helps. Some tips here on how to eat with your menstrual cycle. And you have to go with the flow. Always go with the flow. Because again, every cycle is unique to you. So you want to write down your symptoms, track your cycle, see what's working and what's not working, because it's going to be different for every single lady. But these are the basic tips to help you work alongside your cycle with the right nutrition. That help you stop having PMS and all this other stuff. We'll get more deeper with more videos on those kind of stuff and how to combat them. But this is an overall basis on how to eat with your cycle. I hope to help. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave any comments down below if you have any questions or any more tips to help anyone else out. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.